Good afternoon, my name is Alan Koh. Today's health talk is on gallstones and how energy medicine serves to support our body's metabolic processes to improve this medical condition. Well, what are gallstones to start off with? You look at the liver, look at the stomach and intestines, the bowel area where the gallbladder is to acid the bowel rather into the intestines to emulsify fat. That's where it happens. But bowel is made in the liver. They have to come to be stored into the gallbladder. And when the time comes, nerve signals will be sent from the brain to the gallbladder to start pumping out the bowel to get into the intestines. And gallstones are solid particles that form from the bowel in the gallbladder. 8% of men tend to get gallstones in their lifetime, whereas 20% of all women tend to get it. So it's more a women's disease again than men's disease like osteoporosis. Patients with gallstones but no symptoms have 1 to 2% risk every year of developing symptoms of complications of gallstones. There are 3 types of gallstones. One is the cholesterol stones, the other is the pigment stone, and the third one is a combination of 2. What are the major causes of gallstone formation in our gallbladder or the bowel duct? Of the contents of bowel, if it's too much cholesterol, too much pigments, then we get into formation of stones easier. If we've got germs infecting the area, we tend to get into the problems too. Or bowel flow is simply too sluggish, too slow. Then anything where flow is slow can collect sediments very easily, cluster them together, and form solutes. And by the way, it says there on the screen that usually it's the female, the fatter female, 40 and above, fertile, still producing children, that age group tend to get these gallstones easier than other groups, even though other groups can get too, of course. What are the causes of gallstones again? Increased cholesterol due to a high cholesterol diet and due to diabetes. And also high estrogen levels in the blood from OCPO, pregnancy, hormonal therapy can also cause formation of gallstones. Then there's a hereditary blood disorder that runs in the family called sickle cell anemia. That would create a lot of bilirubin pigments in the area, and that can also cause stones to form as sediments. Reduced movement of the gallbladder muscles, as in the case of obesity and pregnancy, can also challenge the gallstones not to form stones. It slows down the bowel flow, making it sluggish flowing. Therefore, gallstones can form easier in these people who are overweight or pregnant. Pregnancy got to go ahead, but obesity can be dramatically reduced by doing electric energy treatment because more oxygen and nutrients go into the fat cells, more toxins cleared, making fat burning relatively easy, everything else being standard. Infections can cause the linings of the bowel ducts to be compromised, narrowed, even scarred. Therefore, bowel cannot flow through easily. Therefore, stones can be formed. That's why magnetic energy treatment is so important, even electric energy treatment, because these 2 treatments synergistically serve to improve our immune system to kill germs. So you are not so much worried anymore that gallstones can be formed by infectious diseases. No, not if your immune system is well strengthened. What are the signs and symptoms of gallstones? Some people get fever. Some people get pain in the right abdominal area, the quadrant there. And usually the pain comes about 30 minutes after swallowing a fatty meal. That's why gallstones people tend to want to avoid fatty meals. They become very, very uncomfortable. Then some get referred pain from the area to the right shoulder or even the back. So they didn't even know, the gallbladder is so far away from the shoulder, and yet the pain can be referred there. Jaundice, yellowing of the eye white of the skin, can be quite prominent in certain cases of severe gallstones. Nausea, vomiting, indigestion, belching, bloatedness, and so on can be signs and symptoms of gallstone formation in our body. From gallstones, what are the possible complications? What can it lead to? Can lead on to liver failure, inflammation of the gallbladder called cholecystitis, gangrene and rupture of the gallbladder, cancer of the gallbladder, pancreatitis can lead on to pancreatic cancer. Cholangitis is inflammation of the bile ducts and intestinal obstruction, causing constipation, toxicity, and damage to intestinal lining and even internal organs can be led on as a consequence of gallstone formation. Electric energy treatment charges all our bile duct cells, all our living liver cells, all our gallbladder cells, and immune cells and so on to full capacity of a healthy 70 to 90 millivolts across the cell membrane. At this healthy range of 70 to 90 millivolts, you will expect more oxygen and nutrients to be absorbed into those cells that I mentioned, and more nutrients are absorbed into them just the same. Plus, an enhanced outflux of toxic and acidic waste from the cells, not to disturb with the metabolic processes of repair, recovery, and cholesterol breakdown, and pigmentation breakdown, etc., to avoid formation of gallstones. Electric energy treatment can also, or rather magnetic energy treatment can enhance blood flow to the gallbladder area, or the biliary system area, and that would cause a better transportation of oxygen and nutrients to those cells, therefore revitalizing them, and also drain away more toxins from the area. This will further enhance cholesterol and pigment metabolism, their breakdowns. Because toxins are cleared, are drained away, they would not disturb the functioning of the liver cells and the gallbladder cells too easily. So metabolisms of cholesterol and pigments are even more enhanced as a result of this magnetic field treatment, synergizing the electric energy treatment. Magnetic field treatment is also a proven treatment for pain reduction. So any pancreatitis pain, any cholecystitis pain, gallstone pain, they can be reduced, sometimes quite dramatically, by applying magnetic field treatment as a systemic treatment across the body. Magnetic treatment also strengthens immune cells against development of cancer, against germs causing any gallstones. And far infrared to reduce inflammations like cholangitis of the bile ducts, cholecystitis of the gallbladder, hepatitis of the liver, all these, and pancreatitis of the pancreas, all this can be reduced by applying far infrared against the area, usually the abdominal area. Far infrared removes more toxins from the local area of the biliary tract, so as not to allow them to interfere with metabolisms of cholesterol and pigmentation. So even far infrared can contribute to lesser gallstones. Thermoxibustions are two treatments in one. Thermos is thermal heat, and moxibustion is stimulation of meridian points. So let's see what the thermal heat can do. It can dilate blood vessels, causing an enhanced delivery of oxygen and nutrients to the biliary area to speed up self-repair, self-recovery processes. And toxins are also facilitatedly drained away from the biliary area when blood flow improves tremendously with thermoxibustion. And because of the draining away of the toxins, they cannot re-enter the biliary cells to cause any gallstone formation. Moxibustion, on the other hand, of the thermoxibustion is the unblocking of qi flow to the in the meridian channels to the gallbladder area. And this will further energize biliary cells to bring about more metabolisms of cholesterol and pigmentation breakdown, and therefore stones cannot form when they are metabolized or broken down. And all in all, when you have all these four treatments happening together, you've got no choice but to have better recovery and prevention of gallstone formation. Thank you very much.